All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Damage Control. This is Mookie, joined today with Darth Beaver and Delgarn, and we're gonna dive deep into Marvel Strike Force and really hit on the apocalypse news that we got just a few days ago. But before we do all of that, we'll recap the past week about the Women Out of Time event, just get the guys' opinions and thoughts about what they thought about that overall, and also just talk about the current events that's going on with the Symbiote Sabotage and the Lunar Festival event. So hopefully, everyone, you guys enjoy the show as much as we enjoy each other's conversations with each other here on Sunday mornings. And good morning to those on Twitch that may be jumping on. I haven't peeked in, but if you have any questions on Twitch, if you're there, definitely jump on and ask away, and we'll implement your questions onto the show. All right. So with that being said, let me introduce the gentleman here. Darth, how are you doing, buddy?
Well, good morning.
All right. Good morning. And Dale, how are you doing, Dale?
Morning.
Morning, morning. All right, man. So before I start up on everything here, um, I know we're getting our rosters all situated, so I'm multitasking, but curious of I know my Cowboys are out and your Ravens are out. All of our three teams are out of the the runnings of the Super Bowl for football, but I think Darth, it wasn't you told me, is your wife a 49ers fan?
Yes, yeah, we are from California, the northern part of California, and my wife and her entire family are pretty big 49er fans.
All right, well, your teams are still there, and that's who I'm kind of leaning towards rooting for. Um,
Well,
I'm
how
being,
you gonna root for the Eagles as a Cowboy fan?
yeah, I guess that's true. But I'm not that stereotypical Cowboy fan that's like hating on everybody on the division. I'm not that eccentric because I am a fan of players, and when I grew up, I was a big Randall Cunningham fan, and
Nice.
so I kind of it was just anyways. Maybe it was because he was the beast on. I don't know if he was on Tecmo Bowl or one of those football games early on, but anyways, sometimes I become favorites of who's helping me on my video games. All right.
Hey, that's why as a man born in 1982, I know exactly who Walter Payton is and how badass he was because of Tecmo Bowl.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah,
Bo Jackson and the
and
Oakland
Bo
Raider
Jack, yeah,
backfield.
they were
Marcus.
cheat codes. They
Yeah,
were cheat codes.
exactly. All right, well, let's jump on to the show. I can talk about football almost all day, but I know that's not what people want to hear. They can jump onto YouTube. All right, but let's first break down. I know we don't have any like milestone recaps here that we can peek at as far as on the woman out of time event. Yeah, overall, like when we think about it, we'll just kind of visualize because I don't have my screenshots ready for it. But just going back, we went into the store and we had to do the option as far as are we going to be spending gold on the event, or are we going to stick with our player progression and work on our rosters? And I end up kind of deciding kind of 50-50. I was trying to split it as best as I could. I knew I wanted to hit certain milestones within the event by spending the gold and doing what I had to do, and I achieved what I needed to event wise. But I felt that I kind of shortchanged myself a little bit because what's hard right now, and especially when you get to apocalypse news, is that we got to be farming for some of these like gear pieces, these till pieces, and things of that nature to get your characters to G17. And that was kind of, I think, the approach you took with it, Darth. You saw the value that you were getting, and of course, it was RNG. I was being salty in one of our shows, saying like, I ain't gonna spend 500,000 and get 150 worth, 150K worth of one orb. I was looking at it that way, but sometimes you could get lucky, right? And I think you said, did you hit like on 10 pieces of those or five, or like, what was the max that you might have gotten out of like RNG luck?
Okay, so two separate times I got a 20 drop of Gear 17 bio piece.
Mm,
So if you go that's $3 million worth of bio pieces for 500K.
yeah. And it's funny
So
you brought up the bio, right? And what you do with that?
uh, I raised Abomination to Gear 17
Yeah.
because I pulled him at 7 red star the other week and then finally got enough credits in the store and I wanted to see how big he could actually be. Made me happy.
Yep.
Have a pretty well maxed tune.
Yeah, so once the event ended and once we got the news towards Apocalypse, that's when I started seeing the upgrade notices down on our messages there. So you took advantage of it, and that's kind of where going back into it, that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, I kind of feel bad about that. But what I ended up doing on my side of the fence was work on the Masters of Evil. So this is kind of where I kind of like, I got something out of it. And it's, we'll talk about it more on the Cosmic Crucible side of things. And I even have a video that I can show to you guys on that, um, on the matchup that I tried to play with and using them for. But it's all new, so I'm trying to figure them out. But Dell, I mean, as far as thinking back on your woman, I think you and I kind of took the same approach, right? I mean, did you go all in as far as opening up those 500K orbs?
No, I opened orbs the first 2 days, and then we pretty much found out we didn't need to open the orb, so I stopped.
Okay,
It
yeah,
wasn't worth it to me.
because you're on the mindset on the milestone, right? Just kind of achieving what you needed for the milestone.
Yeah, pretty much. It was just too much gold otherwise. It was just taken away from my progress, so I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Did you get your Peggy Carter to 5 star?
I did not. I was 30 short.
Okay. Okay. See, I would have been 30 short, except for I bumped all that extra millions of dollars into nothing,
Yeah,
and I
I
did
looked
get
at
my.
it. I looked at it at the end, and it was like the amount of gold I would have to spend to get her. It was 30 shards. Was nowhere near
Mhm,
worth it.
mhm,
And then especially once I saw the milestone reward, the ranking rewards, I didn't know what those were. And
yeah.
even if I pushed like to 1%, if I didn't get that last milestone I needed, I still wouldn't have got the 30 I needed. The ranking rewards were pretty shitty.
I think I got 15 for mine, but I did. I have almost the exact same amount of shards Mookie does there for her.
Hmm. Yeah, I think.
Actually, I have 9 out of 200. So
Yeah, I did chase that one that pushed me over the edge. I remember needing to target a certain point on that. I can't remember. All right, but so that was it. And then so now we got the new event going on. So now we're looking into the whole symbiote sabotage and the Lunar Festival event, which I personally I kind of got into a point where I don't even watch Boylon's math videos. I don't even care about math about it. I just go about my play. And then I just kind of pay attention to where I'm at and then where I need to get more aggressive depending on how the scoring system works. So I felt like I slipped a little bit yesterday because this is the big one where you got to get your war battles in. And I left about 2 or 3 attacks in. And then our team, just like in a blink of an eye, I thought like I had the time to I was picky choosy about who I wanted to use my Weapon X with. And we're like on that crunch time where everybody was getting ready to full clear. And then lo and behold, we full cleared. So I didn't get to do my attack. But kudos to everybody that jumped on there. But this particular event, I don't know. I like it overall. I mean, really where the rewards are, the big one that you won't see on here. Darth and I were talking about a little bit pre-show. It's on the web, and I'll try to jump into that in a second if I can find it. But it's really when you go in the web store, right? They got some T4s to go after. And that's all by the blitzing side of things. So you make sure that you're getting your blitzes in. About how many rotations do you think you're doing, Darth, on your blitzes?
four, 4 or 5 a day. I'm
Okay.
not. I'm not setting alarms. I'm doing them when I think about them, and it's not very often. And I'm almost done
Yeah.
with the web event.
Okay. And you, Dale, are you doing about the same?
I think I did 4 or 5, and I was pleasantly surprised when I looked at the milestones this morning. I finished the Blitz milestones this morning.
Nice.
Good job.
Yeah. See, I want to say I'm on that last two or one. I might be on milestone 19 or something like that. But it's definitely worth it. But again, in pre-show we're talking about mobile and his offer review, and I would just want to double down on his sentiment and just blitzing is not a game right now with this whole auto blitz and you're just hitting buttons and stuff and it just kind of feels weird. It's just not it's just I don't know. I guess it's something that we know we need to do as far as player progression wise, but overall it's not a fun concept to go with. So it is kind of frustrating as far as or silly to think about what we're doing to try to earn points on a game without playing the game.
Yeah. It's almost like they should have another mode that they sometimes even put in the blitz section that they could replace a regular blitz with. Something like a tower or something like that. It's so easy if they would just make that kind of game mode, then they could slip it right in there.
Wow, that's a great idea, Darth. I mean, they even got a section right here for it, and
Yep.
currently they got
Just use
shitty
it as
rewards and
base
they can
for it.
bump them up, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
I
Hopefully,
wish.
hopefully, because
I
I mean,
wish.
we know the rosters are growing, so we know we're going to be going up to 46, 47. Of the team concepts that we got to go through. So, all right, so that's kind of what's going on. So, but really, we're going to jump into it because I think a lot of the conversation right now that we're going to piggy into in the first part of our show is going to be about apocalypse. I know I made this little edit video. I mean, I didn't make this actual video, but I edited, just to kind of show the whole things that Marvel Strike Force is showing within their YouTube channel and the marketing of this whole thing. And it's kind of hit this climax already now that we got the news that's coming through. And I know Dell and Darth, y'all were peeking over at the strike time, right? And it's funny because I didn't catch it, and I saw y'all chatting a little bit on the Discord, so I jumped on. I think we all watched it on three different ways. I just went direct to the source onto the YouTube and watched them directly. But I think some of you guys either, I'm assuming, Dart, were you watching mobile?
Was watching mobile, and I think Dell was watching Rim.
Rim, yeah. So we all took three
Yeah.
different angles off of it. We're on three
It's
different
awesome.
chats. Yeah. So I saw the YouTube chat going on. I'm sure you all saw the Twitch streams going on with mobile and Reminex. But it was exciting. It's something that we all been building on, that we're still currently working on, and that's what we want to go ahead and just kind of digest down into it here. So I'm gonna go ahead and we'll jump into the blog post. I mean, I have a couple different screens here. Apologize about my transition, but I'm trying to get my bearings straight because I'm it's just a lot of stuff to talk about. But so yeah, anybody y'all can jump into it. Here's the strike time video we're talking about. That's where I did some of the little editings off of the little footages there, where I kind of captured him in action. Um, I don't want to break down our conversation on in regards to the kit based stuff. If y'all want to do that, which is cool, Benny Westside. Benny has a nice little bite size. That's what he calls them, right? Sometimes these little bite size stuff. And it's cool. He does it on one page. I don't know how he does it, but he does it perfectly as far as being able to kind of show you the kits behind Apocalypse. But the main question that I have first off the bat, which I don't expect any answers, but this is me racing. As you see him and kind of hear a little about the kits, of course, we're not playing it. Do you start kind of thinking ISOs? Do you start thinking a little bit about potentially what you would want to do? Like, Dart, do you have any ideas? Like, are you thinking about that at all or not?
I've seen enough about his stuff that his turn order that he's going to go third. He's going to go behind Morgan Le Fay and Red Hulk. And I know that his basic on his assist counter mechanism gives him, I think, offense and speed up. So striker is what I'm going to go with him, I think. So that way on his first attack he runs it and does his special, and then he uses his striker attack, which will give him speed up and offense up for his ultimate, which will be coming up next, which leads into his empowered basic, which is going to delete somebody. So I think the quicker you get to that, the better you're going to be. So I think striker might be the way to go.
Yeah, and how about for you, Dale? I mean, I know this is like prejudging, but are you kind of on the same fence? Or are you thinking differently at all?
Striker seems the best. I'm not sure if I need to change one of my horsemen. I already have two strikers on my horsemen right now.
Yeah, and it's funny you talk about that. Y'all know already that I have a bunch of strikers on my team. So I'm kind of leaning towards like skirmisher, maybe. I don't know. I mean, that's my initial thoughts a little bit. Of course, I know this is early conversation stuff. Next part is like they went into talking about the requirements overall. Like they finally unleashed like the full 23 characters now are going to be coming within the Apocalypse saga that you need. And these two finally officially got confirmed. And curious about you, Dale. I mean, when you heard the news about that, it was always kind of like a gut feeling, right? Like it has to be these two. Um, but once you've actually heard it officially coming from the mouths of the actual developers, did you do anything with your team yet, Dale? Did you look to start kind of upgrading these characters, or did you already have them upgraded?
Not yet. I need to like I was telling you guys beforehand, I need to figure out what I want to do with Kestrel because I have her as a striker now. I need to figure out if I want to change her.
Okay, yeah. So you're still thinking ISO aspect of things because of course that all comes into what making the safe decision on that that blue level
Yeah.
4. And I think if I'm right, Darth, did you already jump up and get her to G17? The lady on the left, Kestrel?
No, neither one of them are 17. I'm out of focus catalyst parts.
Ah, that's right. That's right. Okay. Then well, let's take a look. This is what so Darth helped us out here as far as telling us what you can do with having the whole 23 characters on your roster filter, and he did it by the versus side of things. And I'll jump on my screen in a moment and show you. But this is what we're looking at. We're looking at Darth's roster right now. Of course, there's his Abominations number 2 on the list up there that he just upgraded with all the bio he was getting off of the Woman Out of Time event. He got the RNG luck. But I guess as you're looking at your roster, you can tell me what's your focus on? Are you kind of I mean, of course, it's kind of sporadic, but I guess what I'm looking at is like your ISO 4. Which characters are you starting to work on first when you think about leveling up to ISO 4?
So I kind of went through the dark hold as they came out, except for Scarlet Witch, and left Scarlet Witch down. And then I got all of my Gamma done and all of my Unlimited. And I'm working on my Death Seed right now. I think I have 3 of the 5 of my Death Seed done. Archangel has his 4th pieces put on. I just haven't chosen his ISO class yet because I want it to be right.
Yeah.
And I just haven't done that yet. So I'm feeling very close because now they're all gear 16. So there's the first easier part of the requirement, and so now I've just got to try to ISO up those last couple of characters, and I'll be ready to go. You know, I'm pretty excited actually with the news. That I was closer than I thought I was going to be, and I'm still shocked that they didn't pull out 2 brand new characters that have to go with Kestrel and Deathpool for the strike team. I am shocked that it's just those 3 characters. But it's a good shocked. It's it's unexpected. We know how Scopely works, and I would just expect them to try to pull more income out of this before they were done with their Apocalypse saga. But it feels like that they are done with it and they've moved on. So they want to wrap this up so that they can get us spending for their next big event.
Yes, funny. Yeah, that's 100%. But it's funny if you're shocked about it. I can imagine how shocked Dell. I mean, you share the same sentiment? Were you surprised that they didn't come up with like another like 25 characters instead if they just stopped at 23? Were you thinking the same
Yeah.
thing?
Oh, I was very surprised.
Yeah.
I was almost thinking they were gonna put, if they didn't do new characters, I was thinking they were gonna make us level up Fury for it.
Yeah, right. That was the big rumor was like Fury and Shield team, right? Some type of something within the Shield or Strike in that regards. And I don't think I saved your roster right, Dale. But yeah, I know you got your roster over here. I mean, what's your current focus on? Are you starting to look at Deathpool or like
I was working on ISO this morning. I started off with the oldest horseman team first because those are the ones we have the most experience with and the ones we're probably more certain on ISO on.
Mhm.
Like, I'm still not 100% sure what to do with Death Seed.
But yeah, here's that filter section right here that so Darth showed us if you're ever curious about just having your apocalypse characters all in one area, you just save it right there on the versus button right there. And once you start saving the apocalypse characters, you can then sort it out accordingly by going into your versus battle favorites. And then here they are up on the list. So thanks for showing us that. But yeah, there's my team. But going back into the news of it all, I guess the big thing, really that you know, that we got off of it, of course, again, it's like now we understand he's coming through. It becomes like they didn't officially say if it's going to be in game. I know we know that there is going to be a patch coming up, probably on Tuesday or Wednesday. But is your thinking? Do you think he's going to be in game now? Are we going to see him as part of the rosters? I guess for
Yes,
yeah.
I think yes.
Okay. And you feel the same way, Dale?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they said during the strike time video that the next Archangel's event will come back and Apocalypse will be next patch.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there it is. So definitely get ready for it. I think for the most part, everybody except for the heavy Krakens, and I don't mean to label them that way, but there just was a lot of pay to win events to get to that level blue 5, that level 5 blue eye. There's only a few that are going to be able to get to that level. But for us, and I jokingly say peasants, but it feels that way a little bit sometimes. Um, but nah, I'm joking. I know there's other people that are lower off from where we're at, but like most of us are going to be getting a baby apocalypse, right, when the run comes, and we're very close to it. I mean, that's what you were just talking about right now, Darth. Like the news overall was exciting. We got to look into our rosters and filter it accordingly and start trying to see realistically where we're at. Now we can go ahead and be a little bit more confident as far as in the ISO selections and starting to upgrade certain characters to your personal liking. And as you can see, I'm already getting everybody up to level 90. That's what I did with my gold with a woman at a time. I started just kind of wanting to get people through. So now I'm working on Deathpool. She's my last one to get to level 90. And now I'm going to start working on the ISOs. And I'm almost there. I think I only got 3 overall. No, I'm sorry,
That's
4. I got
great.
4 left to get to level 4 ISO. So I got my Deadpool, Psylocke, Scarlet Witch. That's 3, and then the 4th is Phantom. Let's take a look at some of the infographics that's coming out. So again, I just want to give kudos to those that are doing this. We got Benny Westside that came in with this particular specific apocalypse abilities. And then over here, here's the uniques. This is the big one. So, I kind of briefed on, I didn't jump into it heavy too much in conversation wise, but let me just kind of touch base off of this. So, when we go back in the current game, we got this red envelope over here on the store now. And there ain't much to farm for those that kind of have, these characters built up on top. Now everybody has an itch to start, farming their till. And here's some of the catalysts. You talked about the short end of some of the stuff you have, Darth. So I don't know. Have you been even spending any of the envelopes on any of the catalysts that you need?
They're the only catalyst I need are the focus catalyst, but I haven't spent a single red envelope yet.
Okay, because you're looking at this section right here, right?
I'm really looking for chromium, which I hear may not ever show up there, but that is what I am looking for there.
Okay. And I bring that up because I mean, right here, this is kind of showing you, like, I think Dale, you talked about that you're searching for the gamma, or what is it? Is it called gamma? This little,
Yeah, the gamma radiation.
yeah.
You said, I feel like that's the one I need the most. I don't have, if chromium pops up, I'll definitely pick that up. And I was trying to do Sunfire, so I was missing his as well, and I guess I'll need that for Psylocke too, so I should really be farming that.
Yeah. And so again, shout out to, I guess it's MSF University of the information. I'm not sure. And it just kind of just came across my radar here. I saw this on a Discord channel, but it came up with a little cool little infographic there about those pieces. So that's kind of the mindset that I have, and it sounds like you guys have when we're looking at this red envelope store that we're searching for certain pieces that are going to help with these 20, which either of your 23 characters you need to upgrade to the next level. And then think that's it. But like to kind of wrap up the show here, because I'm going to jump into Cosmic Crucible in a moment. But let's talk about what's on horizon. I guess in no particular order. I have 2 screenshots. This is probably the more important one to look at. Is to say about saving. This is all the game's turned into hoarding stuff. So you got to definitely start being mindful about saving the red credits, because there is going to be an Alliance milestone event coming up on February 2nd called the Trial of Strength. Second one is saving the gold orbs, which also has an event starting on February 2nd. And then our favorite is going to be the coordinated assault, which is going to be, I guess, on a Sunday. So you got to save your ISO 8 refreshes. So when we look into the calendar there, that's kind of how it's all kind of mirroring here within the event. So I'm not going to break it down. I'm not, again, like as I mentioned, I don't pay attention to the events. But other than that, what I do pay attention on is like what I got to save and what I got to hoard. So definitely try to do that. I think you broke the sad news, Dart, that you actually hit the claim all button.
It glitched on me. It did the thing somehow.
Oh
It
man.
just I popped into my game and was doing some stuff, and then a screen came up across my screen that said, "These are your stuff," and I was like, "Well, that's fucking cool. What's this for?" And then all my red dots were gone off my mail,
Oh man. And you know, and
which is
it
fine.
okay, and you're taking it in stride, but I mean, I know it happened to you too, Dale, and I'm just knock on wood, I haven't had it happen to me. But I'm just kind of wondering, I mean, does it make you like Dale, when that happened to you, did it make you kind of pissed off a little bit or
Oh, it made me really pissed off because it was literally the day of or the day before the last raid event. So all my raid things were rewarded, and I lost all of that
mm,
for that event. So I was far behind.
yeah, I guess it depends on the event and like you said, the timing of it, right? Of it happening, do you have time to hoard up again or not? Like I'm starting to
It's
hoard this
fortunate.
stuff. Yeah, you have some time, right? You got a couple of days there.
A couple more days, yeah.
Mm. But how about you? Are you guys opening this or saving them?
It was too late by the time.
The
I
news
mean,
came out.
yeah, by the time the news came out, like we finished most of that, everything that had those raid credits in it by the beginning of the week, and I just don't have too many red dots as it is. I like them to be gone.
I know. I just, so I've been better at saving this part and just being mindful about that countdown as we rate every day than I am on the blitz side of things. It's hard for me to try to save the blitz milestones as we, because this one has a little bit of a short calendar. Because some of them could be like a 1 day one, other ones are like 3 days. But yeah, it's just kind of weird, what you got to do to kind of stay advantage or play the game smart. That's kind of like the theory behind all of this. But you kind of have to do what you need to do as you know, as trying to like minimize spending to catch up on certain stuff, right? So that's kind of the mindset that we have here. Well, everyone that is catching it, hope you guys enjoyed the show. Those that are on here, what's up, Lunatic? I just saw you jump on. So Lunatic, man, that guy, like he's on Twitch like on different hours of the day. I don't know if he sleeps, but what's up, Luna? So those on YouTube, y'all take it easy and catch us next week as we'll kind of see what's going on and where we're at with our player progression. And good luck to any of those that are football fans with your teams as the Final Four are out there. So whoever you're rooting for, good luck to you and your team. And y'all take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye bye.